Have you noticed it? We live so loud we've become strangers to ourselves. Every day. Too much talking, too much explaining, too much defending. We keep trying to prove we're on the right path, that we have value, dreams, ideals. And the irony is, the more we say it, the more our energy slips away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste your breath persuading others of what time will prove." That line still cuts through the noise, especially for those running on empty in a shouting world. Every second you spend explaining, waiting to be understood, is a second sliced off your own path. You can't move forward with your eyes turned outward. You can't hear your soul with your ears glued to the world. Here's the truth: every turning point arrives in silence. When you stop chasing approval, when you turn your focus back to the only thing you can truly govern, yourself. So let's step into the quiet. No more announcements, no more pleading, no more proving. From here we build focus, discipline, alignment. And as we begin, watch how everything starts to fall into place. 1. The biggest enemy of progress: the need for approval. Why do we feel exhausted chasing our dreams? Not because the dream is too big, because we start broadcasting it too soon. Humans have a primal craving to be seen, to be told, "You're on the right track, you'll make it." But that craving is a trap, subtle, shiny, lethal to focus. Science has a name for it: the dopamine illusion. When you announce your goals out loud, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical it gives you when you actually succeed. So you feel like you've already arrived, even though you haven't moved at all. And that false satisfaction, quiet, sweet, deceptive, kills momentum. You post about a grand plan. The likes roll in, "Wow, amazing." And suddenly you feel done. But you're not. You haven't started. You just talked about starting. You ate the reward before you earned it. Result? Your real drive evaporates. Why don't most people get what they say they want? Not because they're lazy, because they self-reward the wrong way. The brain gets fooled. "We made it," it whispers after a few drops of social dopamine. Epictetus put it clean and sharp. Don't boast about what you intend to do. Show the results when it's done. A Stoic doesn't perform his path for applause. He doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't need an audience. He needs one thing: self-proof. You don't need them to understand. You need to act so consistently, so unmistakably, that denial becomes impossible. Let your results corner the room while you say nothing. Every time you choose silence and do the work, you're teaching yourself a law. Truth doesn't need to be spoken, it needs to be shown. Choose the gym over the boast, the page over the post, the reps over the rhetoric. Make your day a ledger of actions, not intentions. Stack quiet wins until the pile speaks for you. Because progress has a voice, and it isn't loud. It's the sound of a door unlocking after 1,000 unseen turns of the key. Keep listening, the next turn is in your hands. 2. Quiet action, where real success is made. Real success isn't born in applause. It's forged in cold, early mornings when you're the only one awake. When you read one more chapter, run one more mile, install one more habit, no one sees it, no one cheers. And yet those invisible moments are exactly what build you. Epictetus said it plainly: if something lies beyond your control, train yourself not to be concerned with it. Silence isn't surrender, it's a declaration of control. When you choose silence, you're not losing, you're choosing your battlefield. The weak need noise to be noticed. The strong need silence to focus. Picture it. A mountain never screams to prove its power. It simply stands unmoved through the storm. Winds howl, clouds shift, the mountain remains. So it is with Stoicism. The single thing you truly govern is your response. Thomas Edison lived this truth on the worst night of his career, when his factory burned to the ground. Flames swallowed decades of work. He turned to his son and said, "Go get your mother. She'll never see a fire like this again." No rage, no self-pity. In Edison's mind, there was no such thing as loss, only a new chapter to begin. That is Amor Fati, a love of fate. To accept not only the good, but also the painful, because all of it is fuel for growth. Marcus Aurelius set his own marching orders. Do what's right, say little, leave when it's done. That is the code of the inner warrior, the one who doesn't need a crowd, because he's accountable to his own soul. And here's the paradox: the quieter you are, the stronger you become. Silence sharpens attention. Silence lets you hear the rhythm of your own footsteps, steady, deliberate, yours. You start to see the shift. You don't need to announce progress. You need to be progress. You don't need to tell the world you're changing. You need to change. So keep the mornings cold and honest. Keep the reps boring and relentless. Keep your promises, especially the ones no one can verify. Because success doesn't ask for an introduction. It arrives calm, undeniable, on the back of 1,000 unseen choices, made by someone who learned to master the loudest battlefield of all, the one inside. 3. Energy, mindset, environment. 3 doors that shape your destiny. Let's face it, most people don't fail from lack of talent. They fail because their energy gets scattered into things that don't matter. You wake up and grab your phone, the world programs your mind in the first 5 minutes. You read one toxic comment and a stranger hijacks your morning. You jump into a pointless argument and a nobody owns your whole day. Each tiny choice, another crack in your energy vessel. By night, you're drained not from hard work, but from unauthorized access to your attention. Marcus Aurelius would call it the leaking of the soul, quiet, constant, costly. If you want to change your life, start where you send your energy. Send it to drama, you get chaos. Send it to judgment, you get bitterness. Send it to discipline, learning, action, you get peace and results. That's the mirror law of the universe. You receive what you repeatedly focus on. 4. Discipline, patience, the power of small daily wins. The world worships results, but the Stoic worships the process. Results are the shadow. The process is the substance. Seneca said it best, nothing great is created in a rush. True strength lives in patience. Yet, look around. We want everything now. 6-pack in 6 weeks, wealth after 1 course, inner peace from a few cute affirmations. Life doesn't work like that. You can't plant today and expect a tree tomorrow. As Mel Robbins says, success is built in silence, and I'll add one more over a long period of time. You don't need followers. You need a habit. Discipline is the flame that burns away doubt. 1 right action a day, just 1, changes the slope of your life. Read 10 pages, train 30 minutes, write 1 idea. That's how you build the invisible house of yourself. After 30 days, you may not see much. After 6 months, you'll feel the foundation. After a year, people will ask, "How did you do it?" There's only one honest answer: I didn't say it. I did it. That's the compound effect, great change built from small, repeated actions carried out in quiet. A seed doesn't break the soil by fearing the dark. And you won't grow either if you refuse a season of stillness and solitude. The question isn't, do you have the seed? The question is, do you have the patience to let it germinate? Most people quit before the sprout appears. The committed know the roots are growing where no one can see. So build boring, build early, build long. Let routine be the metronome of your promise. Make your calendar the ledger of who you're becoming. The world doesn't need more declarations. It needs more people who can keep a vow to themselves, who can stay quiet and stay the course, who can show up when it's cold, when it's lonely, when nobody's watching. Hold your line, give time enough time, and let the results arrive the only way they ever do. slowly at first, then all at once. 5. Live the Stoic code. Be quiet, act, let results speak. When you turn your focus inward, something strange happens. Everything starts to fall into place. Not because of magic, but because you stop fighting yourself. You stop spending energy on explanations. You stop fearing being misunderstood. You live by a simple rule. What's within my control, I do with full force. What isn't, I release. That is the essence of Stoicism. Epictetus said it clean. No one can make you suffer unless you grant them access to your mind. In the same way, no one can stop your success unless you hand them your focus. Let me give you a story. A 40-year-old woman was mocked by friends for starting too late. She didn't clap back. She didn't post speeches. She worked 14 hours a day for 3 years. No sharing, no complaining, just the work. Then her product landed on CNN. The room went quiet, and she said one line, "I didn't need to prove I was right. I needed to do what was right." That's the language of achievement. It doesn't speak in promises. It speaks in outcomes. Their silence wasn't an escape. It was a concentration of power. Every ounce of energy redirected from noise to action. So be quiet and move. Work in the dark until the light has to come find you. Become the one whose peace is a weapon, whose discipline is armor, whose silence is strength. Because when you carry yourself like that, you don't need to explain. You don't need applause. You don't need anyone to believe in you. Hold the line. Choose action over argument, substance over noise, presence over performance. Let results do the talking, and let time be your witness. Everything has been, everything is, and everything will keep falling into place for the person who refuses to leak their power and commits to the work. Conclusion. When you stop chasing approval, you finally meet yourself. When you stop speaking, the universe starts listening. And when you act with steady silence, everything begins to fall into place. Don't fear solitude. It isn't a void, it's a laboratory. In that room of quiet, you negotiate with your weaknesses. You forge discipline, you sharpen clarity, you build nerve. Stoics don't live for applause. They live for respect, beginning with their own conscience. Remember, the loud make echoes, the quiet make change. You don't need permission, you need alignment. You don't need to prove, you need to produce. You don't need an audience, you need a vow you keep when no one is watching. Carry this into tomorrow. 1 silent action completed, 1 distraction declined, 1 promise kept. Stack these small certainties until certainty is who you are. If this spoke to you, tap like, not for vanity, but to push this message to someone who needs it tonight. Join the channel, subscribe and build with us, week after week. Action over noise, substance over show. Before you go, seal your commitment in the comments with 1 short line. Silent, focused, relentless. Now breathe, stand up, and take the next right step. The rest will follow slowly at first, and then all at once.